I'm Terry Runyan. This is Tucker Runyan, and he is going to be with me, close to me, around this area to work on some cats, of course, but this time we're going to do some cats on head. And I have been doing Cat on Head Wednesday for several years now, and there's no need to stop now because it is pretty fun. So I'm a visual artist and creative encourager, and I hope you'll give the cats on head a try. Tucker agrees that you should jump in. Right, Tucker? I have been making art for a very, very long time. It hasn't always been just about cats, but lately I've been really pretty much focused on cats. Today I'm not going to change anything, but I am planning to do a class on cute animals in general in the near future. But for today, we're going to focus on cats and specifically cats on head. I really encourage you to try it. I love seeing how people interpret this prompt. And if you're not a member yet, you can join Daily Creating Group. I'll link in the About section. But that is the place we do prompts every day. You don't have to do prompts, but they are available for you. And Wednesdays actually are thing on thing day. That could be interpreted any way you want. The way I interpret it is cats on head, but it could be painting on paper. Pretty much anything goes. So if you're interested, check it out in the About section. So we're going to experiment with paint a cat on a head, and it doesn't have to be a human head. The goal here is just to paint a cat on a head. Any head will do, so keep that in mind. Creativity here is endless. We can mix it up and do whatever we want. And I encourage you to really explore the parameters of what this might mean and see what comes up for you. I have a tendency to paint intuitively and not plan a whole lot. The same goes for my glasses. And so I go along here and see what shows up, and it keeps that mystery alive and sense of wonder. And I get to be as surprised as maybe somebody else does by what comes out. So keep that in mind too. You don't have to have a big plan. Why don't we go ahead and jump in and see what happens? Okay, nice blank piece of paper here. Think of it as an opportunity to explore silliness. And as a matter of fact, maybe the colors make no sense whatsoever to what you might think a cat on head is like. Like you may not think a cat on head has purple cat. And there you go. All of a sudden we've got purple. It's a nice, rich purple. Usually when I do these, I either put the cat on the head and paint the cat on top of the head, and then other times I paint the cat right into the hair. This time, I think I will paint the cat into the hair. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a cat tail on this here purple kitty. And our figure or head here is also going to have purple hair because that's what color the cat is. What I'll usually do with these is I leave white for the head shape. This is a very weird head shape. Kind of long and pointy. And then, you know, whatever happens with hair, this one's going to be kind of off to this side since we have the cat tail on that side. And I'm perfectly aware that this can fail miserably, but it's a cat on head, so it's okay. You can paint several of these. I'm going to just mess a little bit here with this face shape and come in with some black clothing on this person. Get the cat hair out. We're working with a little bit of wet on wet here. So we might have a little running, which is always fun. Big collar. Big sweater. Not what you're wearing this time of year in the summer. But this is what she has on. Your face shape can be whatever you want it to be. This has got a very funny butt back here, but I kind of like that the hair goes off like that. I'm going to give this a little dry so we're not waiting forever. I'm going to take the same colored purple, a little bit more saturated, and with the smaller brush. This is a size 10 round that I'm using now. And I'm going to start pulling in a little bit of hair follicle, follici, whatever it is. So that sort of differentiates the cat from the woman. I don't want to overdo that, but this cat could have its fur bits. This one I'm keeping very straightforward. It's just basically loosening up with this cat on this human. Nothing complicated here. Yes, there we go. And maybe we have a few fur bits down here too. And here, I'm going to go ahead and put some color in this face. And I'm going to sort of keep it a human face color. It's a little darker flesh tone. And I am using several colors mixed together to get this color, including some red oxide, some yellow ochre, yellow, a little bit of black actually. And to keep this even more exciting, I'm going to go ahead and maybe add a little other friend in here like I like to do. And I think this friend is going to be orange, because orange is the complement of purple. It's on the other side of the color wheel. And yes, it is a bird. Very red orange. I added a little bit more yellow in, but still pretty red. Oh, there, we've got a little extra character in there. I'm going to start adding a few details, some eyes and things, using a Molotow marker, testing it over on the side. You can vary your eye shapes and colors, and all these things will add to the difference. I'm starting with the outline first just to get the shapes in. I'm going to fill it in, and then I'll probably have to come back on with several coats to make sure it covers the watercolor. Sometimes as I'm working, my eyes will grow because, well, for one, I don't have my glasses on. That doesn't help. You can see where this purple's coming up. I'm not going to worry about it. Do we want a stripe on this collar? Yes, we apparently do. It's a very tall turtleneck. Not loving this so far, but I'm going to keep going because that's what I do. Add some black details where the paint is dry or there is no paint, like right here. Bet you didn't know you wanted to paint a cat on head, did you? How do I want to make these eyes? Kind of like the cat, maybe? Sort of cat eye like. She's got quite the chin over here. So this is a very awkward shape. I'm going to keep it the way it is. And while I've got some of this orange color over here on the side, rather than use a colored pencil, I'm going to use it to put in the cheeks. kind of ties together the bird and the face a little bit. And I will do the same with the lips. Even though she has a big chin, she will be smiling. I think I'm going to try a little purple for her eyebrows. I'm not sure how that's going to go over this flesh color. So much variation you can do here. I think this bird's almost dry. Since it is, I'm going to add a wing to it by adding a few darker colors into the red-orange. Getting a little wing in here. You can see how the paint is coming up through that Posca pen. So that happens. These are dry, so I'm going to give them another coat. Usually you can get pretty close to opaque with a second coat. Not always. Depends on how full your Posca pen is and how well it's running. I think I'll go ahead and add the eyes whites into this figure. You can do this first. I just put my hand in there. She's got a really wonky face. I think I'm going to put a happy eye on that. And the headdress. Hairdryer. The hairdryer has loosened my paper. I'm going to go ahead and take it off of that. Come back in with a little light purple eye shadow to give her the, what do they call it? Smoky eyes. While I'm at it, I'm going to darken up those eyebrows a bit. Felt like they needed it. Maybe a little bit of darkening underneath. You could do a little shadow under the hairline too. That was a lot of shadow, but that's okay. A few more hairs. Good measure. I'm going to pick up a little bit of this color here. Coming back in with a dried out brush. And I think she might end up with some freckles because I kind of like freckles. I have freckles. Those are a little dark, so what I can do is come back in with a tissue and sort of pick them up. I picked them up too much, so let's put a few more back in. Don't need a ton of freckles to get the point. See, I don't think these work, but I'm going to leave them in there. I'm going to come in with some more eye details since these eyes got out of control a bit. Fix them up so they look a little bit more the same or close. And a little more eyeliner on our girlfriend here. I don't normally outline eyes, but it works. I'm going to find myself a colored pen. This is a Posca as well. And I'm hoping it's going to work. Shaking required. I'm having a very difficult time with this shape of this face. So since I got black, I can go back in and clean it up a bit, make her a little less manly. And then I'll come back on with a few more stripes Right now I'm getting the face very thin. A lot thinner. While that's drying, I'll come in here and do these eyes, these irises. Hopefully, I'm aware that I might have to come in and redo the black because I might go over the edge with this Posca pen, and Posca is opaque. I'm trying to get them sort of the same size. She gets to have some aqua eyes as well. I'm gonna clean these eyes up again. Cat's eye is a little bit better in the black area. That's a very squinty cat. I'm gonna give this girl some lashes for fun. She's very, very wonky in her eyes. Come back in with some more white for the stripy action here. I feel like I want to do stripes all the way across. Could be polka dots, could be flowers, anything you want. A few details on the bird, a little signature. Love doing these little highlights. That one ended up in the wrong spot. Here, that's better. Well, that was fun. I did run into a few snafus with it, but we got it done. And there's so much possibility with this. This doesn't have to be a human with a cat on head. It could be a bunny on a dog. It could be an elephant with a mouse on head. It could be all kinds of numbers of things. So variety is the spice of life, and whatever you want to bring to it that's your own, that's fantastic. If you do decide to copy my artwork closely, please tag me at terryrunyan.com when sharing. So that's all I got for you today. See you next time around.